On the night of March 27, 1999, a shocking event completely altered global perceptions of stealth technology. The F-117 Nighthawk, a ghost the United States proudly considered invisible, was shot down by Serbia's vintage SA-3 surface-to-air missile system. This incident not only stunned the military community, but also raised a profound question. Are stealth aircraft truly invisible, as we've long believed? In the following minutes, we will delve into the unexpected limitations of this technology, from engineering and materials to little-known tactical elements. First, it's important to understand that stealth does not mean an aircraft becomes completely invisible. Stealth technology is not magic. It is an intricate art of deceiving enemy radar and sensors. To grasp it more clearly, we need to examine three core components: shaping design, radar-absorbent materials, RAM, and supporting electronic systems. Each of these elements comes with its own strengths and limitations, all of which ultimately determine how stealthy an aircraft truly is. The F-117 Nighthawk, developed in the 1980s, is a classic example of faceted stealth design. Every edge and angle on the aircraft's surface was carefully calculated to deflect radar waves away from the source, rather than reflecting them directly back to enemy defense systems. However, this design came at a cost. The F-117 suffered from poor aerodynamics, slow speed, and was extremely difficult to maneuver. With the next generation, the B-2 Spirit, engineers adopted a flying wing configuration, eliminating the traditional fuselage and tail. This design minimized flat, perpendicular surfaces, which are known hotspots for radar reflection. However, this advancement came with significant trade-offs. The B-2 is extremely expensive and complex to manufacture. The F-35 Lightning II represents the latest generation of stealth technology, featuring a smooth curvature stealth design that integrates aerodynamics with low observability. Its S-shaped air intakes conceal the engine, preventing radar waves from penetrating. However, weaknesses remain. Straight edges along the wings and tail can still reflect radar signals if the aircraft flies at certain angles. No matter how well designed the aircraft is, it still requires radar-absorbent material, RAM, to cover its vulnerable areas. RAM functions like a sponge, absorbing the energy from radar waves and converting it into heat. There are two main types. One ferrite-based RAM contains iron-based compounds, effective against high-frequency X-band radar, but heavy and prone to corrosion. Two, polymer-based RAM, lighter and more flexible, but only absorbs 70 to 80% of radar waves and is susceptible to damage at temperatures above 250 degrees Celsius. On the F-35, RAM is sprayed onto sensitive areas such as air intakes, wing edges, and fuselage seams. However, this coating is extremely fragile. Even a small scratch can expose the aircraft's position. The US spends millions of dollars annually to maintain the RAM on its F-35 fleet. Design and RAM are only half the story. To survive, a stealth aircraft also requires an electronic warfare system, ECM. When targeted by enemy radar, the ECM emits jamming signals or creates false targets to deceive air defense systems. The F-35 is equipped with the AN/ASQ-239 Barracuda, the most advanced ECM system in the world, capable of simultaneously jamming radar, radio signals, and infrared sensors. However, ECM also has its limits. If the enemy uses low-frequency radar, VHF-UHF, or AI-powered multispectrum analysis, its effectiveness can be significantly reduced. No matter how advanced the technology, stealth aircraft can still be detected. So how did low-frequency radar and tactical strategy bring down the F-117? Let's uncover the answer in the next section. Stealth technology is facing a paradox. The more it strives for perfection, the more its inherent limitations become exposed. Radar-absorbent material, RAM, is a prime example. Although marketed as a stealth cloak, in reality, it only absorbs 70 to 80% of radar energy. The remaining 20 to 30% can still be detected by modern radar systems. Tests conducted by Lockheed Martin revealed that the polymer-based RAM on the F-35 begins to degrade at 250 degrees Celsius, a temperature frequently encountered in the following areas. Wing edges. Due to air friction during supersonic flight, Mach 1.6. Engine exhaust. Exhaust temperatures can reach up to 600 degrees Celsius. Fuel contact zones with JP-8, subject to chemical corrosion after 500 flight hours. To address this, the US has developed 4 generations of RAM. The first was a ferrite-based coating on the F-117, 5 millimeters thick, weighing 300 kilograms and effective only within a narrow frequency band. Next came the carbon epoxy composite used on the B-2, which is lighter but prone to cracking due to thermal expansion. Then, the F-22 introduced a graphene nanocoating capable of withstanding temperatures up to 400 degrees Celsius, though it costs as much as $250,000 per square meter. Finally, the newest F-35 features experimental self-healing RAM, which can automatically repair scratches using polymer microcapsules, a technology still under development. Thus, no matter how advanced material technology becomes, the stealth coating can never be truly perfect. Even with the best RAM available, there remains one adversary that American engineers did not anticipate: classic low-frequency radar systems, weapons once thought obsolete since the Cold War era. The night of March 27, 1999, went down in history as a shock to the U.S. military. The F-117 Nighthawk, valued at $42 million and a symbol of American stealth technology, was shot down by a radar system from the 1960s. The secret lay in its operating frequency. While modern radars typically use the X-band from 8 to 12 gigahertz with short wavelengths 2.5 to 3.75 centimeters, Serbia's P-18 radar operated in the VHF band with wavelengths as long as 2 meters. With such massive wavelengths, they completely bypassed the RAM coating and reflected directly off the aircraft's internal metal frame, the straight edges of the cockpit, or even the bolts connecting the airframe. But the story doesn't end in 1999. Today, Russia has developed a new generation of VHF and UHF radars, such as the Resonance, combining 3 deadly elements: a frequency range of 0.1 to 1 gigahertz, with wavelengths long enough to neutralize stealth features; a transmission power of 500 kilowatts, capable of detecting a 0.01 square meter target from 600 kilometers away; and an AI-driven multi-frequency analysis system, which filters out noise and identifies targets in just 3 seconds. China is also not standing on the sidelines, deploying a network of JY-27A VHF radars in combination with quantum satellites. This has forced the US to completely rethink its strategic approach. Advanced technology and cutting-edge materials are only part of the story. When military analysts dissected the shootdown of the F-117, they uncovered a shocking truth. It was a series of seemingly basic tactical errors that led to the disaster. 5 costly lessons emerged. First, the deadly repetition. The F-117 had flown the same route at the same altitude of 6,100 meters at the same speed of Mach 0.8 4 times in 1 week. Second, complacency. The pilot failed to activate the ECM system when entering a high-threat area. Third, operating alone. There was no support aircraft or decoy accompanying the mission. And finally, negligence. Warnings from reconnaissance satellites that Serbia had moved radar into the area were ignored. These hard-earned lessons have since transformed how the US operates its stealth aircraft. They've developed randomized flight path algorithms to avoid predictable routes. Supersonic speeds of Mach 2.25 have become the new standard for quickly exiting danger zones. And most importantly, decoy UAVs like the XQ-58A Valkyrie now accompany stealth aircraft to divert enemy air defenses. Optimal tactics, breakthrough materials, intelligent electronic systems. None of these are enough to guarantee absolute superiority. While stealth aircraft strive to become more invisible, a new generation of detection technologies continues to evolve. This has sparked an entirely new technological race, one where the line between stealth and exposed grows increasingly thin. So what does the future hold for stealth technology in the next decade? Are we witnessing the end of the stealth era, or merely a turning point into an entirely new chapter? If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Share your opinion in the comments below. Team Stealth. Stealth technology will continue to dominate. Team Anti-Stealth. New radar systems will end the stealth era. See you in the next episode, where we'll break down the top 5 most terrifying weapons in the world.